How are we, ladies and gentlemen, listeners? Welcome to the Leg Up Australia podcast.
Can he do it? The gloves are off. They go toe to toe, blow for blow. He's clear. His big heart pounding. Yes! Victory to transformation 3 in a row.
Wowee, what a weekend of racing. We have just, what's this, Boxing Day? We've just had Christmas.
Christmas is yet to come.
Oh, you think we're still...
Definitely. I always said Melbourne Cup is the day. Melbourne Cup is Christmas Day.
It was pretty good on the weekend. Everest was phenomenal. Nick Lloyd, Blake Johnson, Sam Wood, welcome to the Leg Up Australia podcast. And, yeah, the Everest itself, it was a huge race. Some were a little bit... not mocking, and I would put myself in the category of that myself, where I thought there was a few fill-ins or anything like that, but it was a great race. Fantastic race. How'd we all fare?
I lost. I tipped the first 4, which was handy. But I thought In Secret was a terrific run. The winner's just a machine.
It's
He's
a
just
jet, right?
He's just a winning machine.
He's a winner. Yeah.
He just wins. I'm not sure if she would have found a half length if she had got to him, but but I was keen on In Secret. I think she was beaten by the gate. I think I wish I Win had his chance getting off. Think About It's back. He had his chance to go past him. Probably didn't have the best of luck. Back to the inside. The race was run at a true tempo, but it wasn't brutal.
Yeah, it wasn't brutal, but I think Hildo's comments we went into the winners' room with Hildo and Björn and all the Ram Racing boys after Renaissance Woman won the last, and Hildo said, I didn't think Overpass could run that fast early, so maybe they went quicker than they were expecting him to, but I'm not a numbers guy.
I think
that's your job.
They went faster in the quokka, so
Wow, there you go. Wow.
You were down there, mate. You and I nabbed Think About It, which is nice.
I had something on, but it wasn't a great result.
Wasn't my best result.
My best result.
But you were down there. Give us the punters the view. What did you think of Everest Day 2023?
Yeah, it's a super day. Like, it's one of the best days you'll have on course. Like 46,000 they had there. I have a feeling it was about 40,000 last year, but I think personally for myself, I think last year was a better day. I don't know why. Maybe we got there earlier and got a better spot. But
where were you kind of perched up? Were you on the move?
We were on the move. So
I can't stand
we sort of just next to the mug for most of it. We were
the mug punter, yeah.
In the betting.
What did your mates think of the mug punter?
Oh, they love him because they've seen him on Twitter.
Okay,
and whatnot.
good.
So
yeah.
It was like meeting your favourite celebrity, meeting the mug in the Redwick betting ring.
None of them approached him from that angle like, oh, we're huge fans.
No, I don't think there was any of that. I think it was more Mug coming over and telling the Mug's punting crew that, listen here, I'm the fucking mug punter.
Yeah.
Use piss off back to Brisbane and get out of my playground.
I'm Sydney.
Yeah, so that was good. But
I did see footage of you lot in the winners' room after.
Yes.
With Renaissance
Yep.
Woman.
We were all, a couple of us were on Renaissance Woman for nice results. So that was certainly a good way to...
I did see that on your Dabble account. You'd had a bet.
Yep.
Very nice.
Yeah, got
very
the rocket.
handy.
Backed it all in as well on the Monday and then went again 5 minutes before the jump and got the rocket back up to $10 or $9.75 or something. So that was good. But
killing them.
Yeah, we watched the race from the grandstand this year. Last year we were down on the winning post in members right there. We thought, let's get up top and watch it from the top. And when they went past us at about the 150, I thought, oh, well, Think About It's home. In Secret, I was with Blake. That was my best result. I thought, oh, she's just too far away, but she got bloody close.
Very
close.
It was
a good run.
She might be a good thing in the champion sprint.
It's a lot of good runs. There's a fair bit to take from that race.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to next year, just quickly before we pull apart any of the other races that day. I'm looking forward to next year because apparently, are they opening up the infield like the other side of the track?
I think they were talking about that. Yeah, like Ipswich Cup Day.
Yeah.
So how many people did they get?
46,000.
46?
Yeah.
But that's not maximum capacity for Randwick, right?
Oh,
because they've had 80 there before,
haven't
they? Haven't they had
80,
back in the day? Like maybe that was when there wasn't as many stands around.
Yeah, there'd be less
like
seats then. Yeah,
standing
possibly.
Room.
Yeah, because I think
if they open up the infield, that'll be a party.
Melbourne Cup Day they get close to 100.
Yeah,
Yeah, they get 100 there.
Yeah.
They
For-
just
for a
turn
race
everything into a marquee at Flemington, don't they? Like any space is marquee.
Quite
Like,
possibly.
and I've heard, and I've never done a Melbourne Cup day or anything like that, but I've heard like you can be at a marquee nowhere near the track itself.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot of those marquee, even the bird cage and things like that, are not for racing enthusiasts.
Imagine if
more
they had a
for
stand that went over the track and like glass bottom,
floor. This is brilliant. Or underneath. And the horses run on a glass floor.
like a tunnel.
Like a glass bottom boat. You go over to the islands, snorkeling.
Either you're at the bottom or I love it. But no, infield. Yeah, use the infield. Use it.
Use it, yeah.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
Parties.
Yeah.
They'd have tunnels to get over there.
I think
it'd be wicked.
Ipswich Cup Day do it, and they have the infield, and that's like your big party.
There'd be no tunnel to get to that.
No tunnel at
Well, they do, just
Bundam, but
open
I think
up
they just open up a bit of
gate
a
and
thing
you
around
run.
the side
They
and you
have
walk
like
past. But
lollipop
Yeah, for the
women
horses.
doing
the horses at the furlong pole.
stop
Stop.
goes.
But I think they've got the DJ there, and they've got the big screen behind the DJ that's got all the graphics and everything on it. And when there's a race on, the DJ stops playing and they put Sky Channel on, and the crowd actually boos because the music stopped. Rumor has it. It's like you're at the fucking races,
I love
and
that.
you're booing the fact
But
that
that's
the DJ stopped. So that's
the new race going now. They're
Yeah.
there for an event, and that's what I think the Everest has kind of tapped into and definitely unlocked.
Yeah, and I think so too. The Everest, like that was only its sixth running. Like we're all like we've all been around for every running of it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the Melbourne Cup. Like like I can rattle off the last 25 Melbourne Cup winners off the top of my head. But
Yeah, I couldn't tell you too.
but go back further than that, like too young kind of thing. But the new age race goers can say, "Oh, I've been to all six of the Everests."
Yeah,
I know. Like they're going to know if they've got a good memory.
They're
gonna-
part of it.
Yeah. Like,
That's such a good point. But yeah, maybe even royalty out here next year.
potentially.
They
for
reckon
the
they're going to get
King Charles.
Chuck out here.
Yeah.
That would be good.
I hope so.
Sitting up there and you can do that. You can do that.
Maybe
I did the year thing for anyone not watching. But wouldn't that be good? Him looking out into the crowd and then seeing the infield, everyone just
Would it have the same effect as, like when Black Caviar won at Royal Ascot and little Queenie came down and gave Black Caviar a pat and there's that iconic photo. Would it have the same effect, King Charles sitting in the grandstand at Royal Randwick as J-Mac on Fangirl salutes? And, is he thinking I'm looking up at King Charles here when I've just won the King Charles?
I'll tell you what would be ideal next King Charles III race.
yeah.
If he's out there, he's sitting in the stand and Just Fine shoots to the front at the furlong.
His old horse.
He sold Just Fine.
Oh, is that
That's
the
the
one?
King's
Yeah.
old horse.
And then
You idiot,
1,800
Charlie.
owners that are in the crowd start turning to him.
Get that
Just
idiot, Charlie.
Sticking it to him. That would be great.
That'd be good, yeah.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Well, he might be a miler.
I
2,000 metres is probably his wheelhouse.
I
but
think I said when he was going into the Metropolitan, I was like, he should have been in the Epsom on the same
Epsom,
day.
yeah.
So maybe Doncaster,
yeah,
King Charles,
like Doncasters, Epsoms,
Yeah.
high
Just
pressure
finds out for a
miles.
spell now, right?
yeah, going for a spell.
Spell, yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Everyone
not.
missed
I don't
that
think he's a
news.
mile and a half horse.
No.
I don't think he's a 2 mile horse. So Melbourne Cup is
That was ambitious.
misses.
But
That was ambitious, but
the race
like
that's
I would have
destination.
wanted him to go to it as well. Like
if you were a micro shareholder or as a punter,
if I was any.
like involved.
Just either.
If I had a share in the horse,
Oh,
I
yeah,
would have
you'd-
liked to have
yeah.
a runner in a Melbourne Cup. So I can
Absolutely.
see the ambition to get him there.
Yeah.
He definitely, like people saying that the bubble popped in the might and power, etc., etc. No, it didn't. He's a very good horse, and he was flat end of prep run.
Yeah. He was heavily backed. I think he started favourite, wasn't
Yeah,
didn't he?
it was just he's just come off like 2 brutally run races, a brutally run Metropolitan where they broke the track record.
Yeah.
Would I be correct? They broke the track record that day.
Yep,
they
you
did.
are
They broke
correct.
the track record, and then he's gone 2,400 back to 2,000 meters in 2 weeks, changed states, and that's definitely an end of prep run. So, but he's the sort of horses in high pressure miles at Randwick have a good record coming 2,000 metres back to that trip.
Yep.
So that's perfect for him.
Before we move on from that, that's a gripe that I've got for PVL because I know PVL, I'm sure you're listening.
He listens, yes.
He listens. The Might and Power Stakes at Caulfield was not shown on the big screen at Randwick because they were doing the pre-race presentation where they had all the slot holders and their flags. Like, what a disgrace! Like, we're trying to punt. Like, we're trying to punt. We're trying to win money, and you've got Alligator Blood. You've got your Just Fine. Like, they would have been Just Fine owners. On course at Randwick. Like, they're
I saw
everywhere.
the lead up to the Everest thing. It's not.
Yeah, I don't care.
Doesn't need to be televised.
I don't care that James Harron is out on the track holding a banner that says slot holder.
Well, James Harron probably wanted to have a bet. He probably had a bet in the Might and Power. He probably wanted to watch it as well. I think that is it. I agree. I think that's
Hawaii 5-0. Like,
joke.
That Jerry Harvey owns Hawaii 5-0. He owns Alligator Blood. Like, what if he was standing there and you've got nowhere to watch your horse in a Group 1? That was the biggest letdown. Is that
you want to promote racing?
Yeah.
Were you with us? Oh no, you were crook. We went to an event once at a turf club up here. Won't mention it.
Yeah.
And they there was a Group 1 on at another venue, and they put a comedian on during it. Yeah. And this comedian, who was Akmal,
yeah,
and he's like, and then started tearing into the crowd saying, "I've never fucking stood up in front of a worse crowd than you lot here. You're all on your phone." And someone screamed out, "The Tats is on," or whatever it was, like whatever Group 1 was on.
We're trying to watch a race.
Yeah, like poor scheduling. But yeah, you gotta be able to view the Group 1s, any of the big race on that day, anywhere. Unless it's Ipswich, don't want to turn the music down.
Definitely, racing takes centre stage, and if we want people to love racing,
that's right. You've got the greatest audience of all. You got 46,000 people there that could have been like. I get the slot holders that they fund the race. That's the reason that the race is there on Everest Day. But like, you've got all day to lead up and build up to the Everest. Yep. Surely you can not do it at the same time. And
it doesn't need to be on telly.
Not show it on.
If you're there, if you want to go watch it, go down the fence.
And like, we tried to watch it on our phone, but there's 46,000 other people trying to watch the race on their phone. So no one's internet was working.
Oh, sort yourselves out, Telstra.
Yeah, shocking.
I'll come out and say Alligator Blood's into close enough to second favourite?
Yep.
Favourite? Can't win the Cox Plate.
I saw a comparison during the week comparing him to Might and Power. 33 starts, 15 wins, 7 Group 1s, the pair of them. Alligator Blood, more prize money. That's more so at this day and age.
Yeah.
But
he won a Melbourne Cup. He won a Caulfield Cup.
Yep.
He won.
I agree, because Alligator Blood's winning the B grade races. B-grade. I'm with you. I was surprised how strongly he did run out that 2000 on Saturday.
It was super impressive. You can't knock that at all.
He ran it out.
Yep.
It was a brutally run race. He landed in that perfect spot. Yep. The horses behind him couldn't pick their legs up.
Yeah. It was, yeah.
They couldn't pick their legs up.
No, I agree.
He's not going to be right for in 2 weeks' time, a strongly run Cox Plate.
Yeah.
And they're going to be better horses chasing him home.
That's right, against the A-graders.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Can't win.
Yep.
What a fucking knock.
Can Fangirl win? She's going to go there.
Fangirl can win.
Is Fangirl the best miler we've got in the country at the moment?
No, Mr. Brightside is.
The bubble wasn't burst on the weekend for Mr. Brightside.
He was off the bid at the 400, and he still ran second. Fangirl was Mr. Brightside. What's he had? He was fourth or fifth up into the prep. He was unbeaten since the All-Star Mile. Like, absolutely airborne, the horse, and like long prep. He's had to come into state. Fangirl had been kept fresh. She had the good draw, the gun ride, like everything set up perfectly for her. But I don't think the bubble burst for Mr. Brightside. I don't think it burst for Militarized, but I do think the bubble went pop on Amelia's Jewel.
You've never been hot on Amelia's Jewel.
Hang on, I'm going to go back to Mr. Brightside before we move on.
Yeah.
I don't think the bubble burst. I was on the radio on Friday morning, and Vince Arcadi made a really good point, actually.
Yep.
He went to the trial of Mr. Brightside, which the Hayes boys have no control over, but apparently that was a gut-busting trial.
Right.
And it was only less than 7 days before
I think it was
that race.
Wow.
Maybe was it the Tuesday before? Would it was like 10 days or something?
Yeah, maybe 10 days.
What do you mean they have no control over that?
We don't have control over what happens.
How hard the horse is going to go?
Yeah. So apparently he had a huge sectional between the 8 and 400. It was like 10 lengths above standard.
So obviously something in the trial has gone there to have a good hit out and has stuffed it up.
I think that he's gone there to have a good hit out as well. But like he compared the two trials of Fangirl and Mr. Brightside. Mr. Brightside was the day before Fangirl, and Fangirl had a very soft trial, and he had a very good hit out at the trials.
Yeah, gotcha.
I'm not exactly sure on the sectionals or anything, but that's what Vince pointed out, that he could be in for a bit of a flat run.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
so he was a little bit scared of him.
It was over a long way out. One of our mates, Moz, he had a fat ticket on Fangirl. I think he had a $300 bonus bet on it, $15 all in, and so we were all kind of cheering Fangirl for his sake, and watching it on the big screen there, you could tell at the 400 that she had the race shot to bits. She was just dominant. 2,000 meters going to be she's never been to 2,000, has she? Cox Plate will be her first time. When she won that Vinery, traditionally a 2,000 meter race, but because it got abandoned on the Saturday, or postponed, I should say, got moved to Newcastle, and I think it was over 1850. She won that. She was strong late.
She beat Hinge that day? Was that Hinge?
Yeah, Hinged and Gypsy Goddess, I believe.
Yeah, I think I don't think it's a big problem.
I don't either, but we've just never seen it.
We haven't seen it. We haven't seen it. Because she's she ran second in that Golden Eagle to I Wish I Win, and that was a brutally run 1,500.
She was a bit stiff.
She was a bit stiff. She was outstanding, and given the fact that there's no knock. If she can draw a gate, I think that's her chances right there. If she can draw 1 to 5, she gets a suck run in behind a good speed, travels into it.
They're going to fan around the valley like they always do in a Cox Plate, and if she can sneak
if she can have a little bit of luck, she's right in the race for sure.
Yeah, blow the whistle.
Amelia's Jewel, she didn't. The bubble didn't burst.
He's always had a mock on it.
There was no bubble to burst. Yeah. That's why.
Well,
I feel like you've got a personal agenda here.
There's been plenty of good milers go around the valley, hasn't there?
Yeah.
She's the track record holder. 1,800 metres. Was it 1,600 or
1,600.
Oh, mile, even better. Yeah.
How many 1,600 metre races at the valley are there that are good?
There's been some pretty good ones.
It was a fast track.
There's been some pretty good ones.
I'm not knocking that. She
can run time. So there's the comparison is against the time. She's a star. She's a star. She wasn't at her best there. Why? I don't know. Are we going to see the best of her on Saturday in the Golden Eagle? Are we going to see her?
We're going to see her in the Golden Eagle.
In the Golden Eagle, I think probably potentially it's more likely that she's going to head to the paddock than the Golden Eagle. But that
they nominated
potentially could be the.
They nominated her for the Winterbottom in Perth and the Gold Rush as well. Interesting during the week. I think Monday nominations.
So what's that? November.
Yep.
So
4 weeks from now.
Could she could do both.
Oh, I don't think Winterbottom's only 1,200 though. So it would. That to me says go back over.
Yeah,
fresh
back.
4 weeks in the paddock and then
maybe not that long, but a week in the paddock and
back in
trip. So they've obviously just got the option there. I thought she had a chance. She had the back of the winner.
She definitely had a chance.
Yeah,
she definitely had a chance. It was a strongly run race, but I don't think that was the problem. But she was beaten too far to be true, in my opinion.
I'm sure I wasn't the only one that had the all up with Militarize and Amelia's Jewel and the bookies won on Saturday. Huh?
The first two you mentioned both got beat. So
yeah, and Mr. Brightside and
what was the other favourite?
Alligator Blood.
Oh, yeah. So you
Alligator
got
Blood.
1 out of 4.
1 out of 4. That was the locked in multi.
Trust me,
last week
there was
too.
locked in multi. I saw probably another.
Yeah,
I think most of our listeners would have had a similar multi. Especially, what if people at Randwick couldn't get on Alligator Blood? The bookies would have had a fill up.
Yeah,
which I strongly dislike. We spoke about that on Saturday. But last year we saw Giga Kick come out and win the Everest. Came out, won another 2 Group 1s after that. 2 up here
in the autumn.
Yeah,
he won the All Age, then he won the 10,000.
No, yeah, he won the Everest and then he got beat in the Champions Sprint.
Yes, but then he won. Yeah, not in that prep. You're saying.
Yeah.
Sorry, but
he was unlucky.
In the next 12 months, we saw probably what established the best sprinter in Australia.
One of the
Do you think we've got that here with Think About It? Do you think we'll go on and see it have kind of really establish itself as the best? I personally think we will.
I have been against him his whole career.
Yeah.
Stradbroke, it was a very bad result. Him winning Everest was a result, not a good result. But I think that, like, after that win in the Everest, like, I've sort of opened my eyes and gone, hold on, this is a horse that's won 11 of his 12 starts. He's won a weight for age Group 1. He's won a handicap Group 1. Yeah, okay, in Brisbane if you want to knock the quality of
I feel
them.
like
But
that's what was coming there.
yeah, it's a Kingston Smith Cup. It's a Stradbroke.
Blake was
Alligator
just-
Blood's won a Stradbroke. Like, it's a good horse's race. And now he's won an Everest.
You're all over the shop with Alligator Blood.
Yeah, but he won
Suddenly
a
it's a
Stradbroke.
good... Yeah, okay. Cool.
But I think he's the best horse in the country.
Not many horses win 11 in a row.
9 in
At
a row.
that.
9 in a row.
9 in a row.
Yeah, I think
11
he
out
went-
of 12.
9 in a
11
row.
out of
Not
12,
many
yeah.
horses win 9
So it
in a
only
row.
took you 11 wins out of 12 starts for you to go, you know what, I think it's a pretty handy horse.
Well, he just, like, I've had him.
You're too set in your ways.
Yeah, I'm against the grain, but I think he's going to be a better miler. He's bred to be a Cox Plate horse. He's by So You Think.
So you think, yeah.
I know they want to go to an All-Star Mile and Queen Elizabeth with him in the autumn. Like, he might not be in the Everest next year. He could be.
Yeah, he'll be.
I think
I
so
think
too.
he'll be in the Cox Plate next
I
year.
think
think
so
so
too.
too.
Joe Pride actually came out this week and said he'd love to win a Cox Plate,
Yeah.
and if think about it's the horse to win a Cox Plate.
Yeah.
And he'd love
This
to
could
do it with
be
him.
a champion horse.
Yeah, well, if he can run 2,000 metres,
100%. Let's
If
see
he can
what's
run
in
a mile.
store next year.
We've
Like,
got I know two of the owners in the horse. One of them has shares in a horse I'm in as well, which went around in a Class 1 at the Sunshine Coast on Sunday, a day after he's had an Everest winner. And the other one, a girl I went to school with, her dad, who's owned horses in Rocky for years.
Yeah.
He's in Think About It. So, like, I love seeing what this horse can do. But we were talking in the group, in the owners group chat on the Sunday morning, and Sam, who's got a share in Think About It, and Sir Carter, he'd be probably my age, mid-20s, and someone said, like, have you worked out what you're pocketing? And he's like, oh, haven't worked it out properly, but it's north of probably about 140K. Like, this horse, like, for someone like him, it's just like an absolute life changer. And, like, I said to him, like, if you can run the 2,000 metres like you just said then, Blake, like, you've got Hong Kong miles, you've got Royal Ascot trips, like, he's a gelding. He's going to be
don't
around
worry
for-
about that. Don't worry about that because
He's a gelding. He's going to be around for years. Like, you can win everything here, and then you can go overseas. You can take on the world. Like,
just win
it's the-
everything here. There's
Yeah,
too much
but-
money here.
Oh, for sure. But I'm not saying next year. I'm saying win an All-Star Mile,
Yeah, like
win a
it-
Queen Elizabeth, win a Cox Plate, and
I
then
understand the point you're making.
yeah.
And I think that's actually the greatest story in all of racing is owning a horse that can be a life changer.
Yeah, and I think too the big thing that it was a syndicate. They paid $70,000 for him.
Yeah.
like unreal. Like,
Yeah.
it's not a Coolmore horse. It's not
forgot-
good.
it's
It's not
forgotten a bit
Godolphin.
this story. Like, it is.
Yeah,
it could
like
be really,
we,
really good.
We talk about like the micro shares and like this is, it's just it's what people buy horses for.
Yeah.
And Joe Pride's got like 70 horses in work, and he's filled 2 of the placings in the Everest. So
Oh, we said the same thing about Private Eye 12 months ago. Is this horse could win a Cox Plate as well as an Everest? Like, he sort of had a few issues in the autumn and whatnot, but
Yeah.
he's flying that horse. Is he a sprinter? Is he a miler? We're not sure, but think about it. We really don't know where his ceiling is yet because like I said, I think he will be better over a trip.
I'm
Yeah,
in.
and that's-
Strap me in. I'm in for the ride.
it's cool
if you think
because
about it.
like easy option would be for Joe Pride to just keep him within his comfort range and pick off races, etc., etc. But he's going to stretch him.
I don't
Yeah.
think that's Joe Pride's MO, is it? I think he's quite happy
He's
to...
he's happy to challenge this horse now, but he is very good at placing his horses.
yeah,
like
okay.
he keeps his horses in the worst company and himself in the best. So, you'll see his horses like progress nicely through the grades. He's not Anthony Cummings and throw them in a Group 1 at their second start. And
Yeah.
Before we get the tipsters in, I've got to get your take on a comment that happened during the week.
Conditions out there today? Yeah, look, very, very, very windy out there. Blow the tits off a prostitute, it's that windy out there, but
Of course, that is Dean Yendall at Swan Hill during the week. Is this do you just let that pass, or is this a fail? there's been a lot of talk about in the week, and usually a silly little comment. And Dean's known for them.
It's not his first.
No, it's not. I've got a very interesting take on this.
Yeah, I'm interested. Like, I'd be just like, is it offensive? I don't know. Just let it slide.
It is. I don't think you can, like...
Who's it offensive to? The prostitutes?
No, I just think you're on a national...
You're on a free-to-air show.
Free-to-air show.
You've got, like,
in
there'd
the
be kids.
afternoon, yeah.
There'd be kids watching it. Like, I know it was a school day and whatnot, but
it's,
there would
it's
be.
not about a specific... And I know you like to know about sections of the community that get offended, but it's so dumb. And I've seen a couple of guys on SEN like, oh yeah, play on. You know, we got to stop dragging them over the car. They're in the media. They're the one dragging them over the cars.
Yeah.
He can't. You can't say tits. You can't say. I mean, you can say prostitute. Like it's not. But why? Like he's literally stop interviewing him.
Yeah.
What else has he said? He's done the raging horn.
Like I wouldn't personally say that myself, but who cares? Like he's just making a fool out of himself, really.
I also agree with that. Yeah. I also agree that it makes him look stupid.
Yeah.
But he's obviously trying to put something out there to say, hey media, stop interviewing, let me go.
Maybe he's trying to say like I'm funny. Like he maybe wants to be the funny guy.
I reckon stewards should hammer him. I really do. Like like we got angry when Ryan Moore said no comment or decided not to give a comment.
Yeah.
What if Ryan Moore turned around and said, "Oh, you know, the pace was so strong, my dick fell off."
We'd all get around him, I reckon. We'd be like, Ryan Moore's
we've gone from boo more to more.
Yeah.
I'm sort of on the fence with it. I can see both sides of the story. I also think like this is a sport. He's a bit of a larrikin. Like, come on, like
you're gonna get
like Warney was a larrikin without saying stupid shit.
Yeah, that's right. Like
he did stupid shit, and people would catch him.
Yeah,
but that I feel like that is just he's reaching too much there.
Yeah. Mind you, there was probably only 4 people watching
Swan Hill on Monday.
Obviously, it's a stupid thing to say, and personally, I wouldn't say it. But like, if we put the bloody handcuffs on him, are we going to get nothing?
No, and that's not what I'm. That's not what I'm saying. I think if they're the two options, it's just play on. But I feel like that's what a lot of the talk through the week of the media is like. Oh, you know, we can't reprimand him. Sling him with a fine. You can't blow the tits off a prostitute.
Make him issue an apology to the prostitutes that were listening.
But even that shit, like that's stupid too. Because he doesn't have to apologise to anyone. Yeah. But just make it so he doesn't say stupid shit.
I tell you, like,
I think he's an idiot. Like,
absolutely.
But who cares?
But look, it could. You know, we're talking about this. There's a very specific clause that the AFL introduced into all their contracts that the NRL's picked up on, and bringing the game into disrepute. Yeah, like that's not good for racing. No. Comments like that.
Those little sayings and little like the honey badger in Union did it really well. You know, like I was working busier than a one-armed bricklayer in Baghdad.
Yeah,
stuff like that. Like that's funny.
That's funny.
It goes viral, but like Dean, you're on the right track, brother. But let's just fix the wording.
Yeah.
Like he could be the honey badger of horse racing, but just like come back a touch. He knew what he was saying.
I think he knows exactly what he's doing. I think he wants the media to leave him alone. I think he knows exactly what he's doing.
Noel Callow was the same though.
Callow was the same, but I feel like even Callow wasn't.
He was dialed back a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. He knew where the line was.
Yeah.
I think Dean Yendall knows where the line was too. And on purposely, like crosses it.
I think it's stupid, and I do think that he should be fined for it.
But I agree.
There
shouldn't be a, you know, how dare you apologise? It shouldn't be anything like that. Just say, look, let's put something in place so you don't say something stupid like that. 1,000.
Is that what it was? Or
I don't know. That's what I'm coming up with.
Pull that out of his riding boot.
Well, how many? Did he win on it? Did he win on it? He won on it. Take his fee. Take how much he. I
think he rode 2 winners. 2 or 3 winners that day.
That's a good idea.
Maybe 2.
He loses the fee for the ride. Doesn't get paid for that ride.
And the percentage.
Yeah.
The jockey's winning fee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Blake. Let's bring in the boys. Gentlemen, welcome to the show. Matthew Zammit, Pat Allendorf joining us. Zammit, you left us hanging last week. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Sorry about that. I'd love to say I had something better to do or something more important, but I didn't. Just forgot about it. Detached from socials. No.
Appreciate that. I was hoping you said you had something much more important.
No, I did. I was flat out, mate. It was a very busy week. But I'm sorry. Yeah.
Would you have tipped alligator blood?
Of course I would have.
Of course he would have. Of course he would have.
You wouldn't believe it. I was laying Amelia's jewel. I was laying militarised.
Mr. Brightside. Yuck. I've never been with that horse, right, Zammit? Zammit never been with Mr. B. No,
Always laying.
Can't be with it again. Patrick, look, it was a great weekend. I feel like you had a rubber arm going into Everest, and if someone just offered you the right level of ticket, you were there.
All I needed was the box.
That's it. And I'm there.
Or just that upper room outside. I can't believe no one tried to stitch me up and say, "Yep, I've got the ticket here for you. It's at the track," because I would have been there.
All week he's like, "Oh, look, if you go, I'll go. If you go, I'll go. If you go, I'll go." I thought if anyone goes, mate, I've seen you go to the races with people you haven't spoken to in 8 years. Fergo called. He wants to go to the races, honey.
I couldn't find a playing partner that was around my age. Nick's obviously he's still in his 20s. So.
Mate, I said, "Where did you sit?" He goes, "Oh, we just rove." I'm like, ugh. My feet started cramping as he said it.
My knees.
I've got 2 big blisters on the back of my feet from the RMs. But
oh yeah,
Paddy, we were talking about a box on Saturday night because we went up to that the stables bar up the top of Randwick, and all of us boys there were 6 of us, and we all had a proper fill up on the punt, and we were walking there, and one of the boys said, "I wonder how much one of these rooms costs for next year." It's like probably 20 grand or something like that.
Oh, it'd be more than that, wouldn't it? I don't know. It'd be crazy.
Yeah, was that Mug who asked?
The Mug was there.
Good story about that though. With the cost, the year it came out of COVID that Nature Strip won the Everest, we had a ticket for $200 that we could not sell to anyone because it was the day that society opened up and you're allowed to go and do stuff. Everyone had stuff booked with their families. Me, Zammit, Hildo, 7 other people.
I could get down there, but I couldn't get back over the border to come home to my family. So I was cash in this $200 ticket and not see the children.
So yeah, that ticket,
it's tough.
It died with us, that ticket. I've never fucking forgotten about it. I wish I could. I wish I held on to it. I would have went Saturday.
Yeah, so hopefully we've got a couple of exciting announcements over the next couple of weeks about race days that the leg up will be at, and hopefully we can get you boys involved at all. But we have got a little date circled, possibly doing Mudgee Cup as a family. So Zammit, you have to put in with HR to just Friday off, or whoever you need to talk to.
Some annual leave, yeah. I did a Mudgee Cup once. We took Highly Desired there. He was favourite, but
I remember that.
No luck. Actually, twice he was well-backed favourite and no luck in that race. But
it's a
big
great
day.
Race day out there. Calcutta and all that.
You want to get in one of those marquees, otherwise you're just baking in 50 degrees.
Yeah, I think we've got one. And we can get a heap of tickets for it. So
good stuff. Otherwise you're going to do a rove like a Nick Lloyd.
Then you'll hear, as soon as we book
I would walk straight home if I had to walk. I walked to my mum's house. My mum lives in Mudgee.
Where were your blisters, Nick?
I thought you'd like that, Pat.
Where were my blisters?
Yeah.
On my cheeks.
On his thumbs.
Working a sports bet up.
Yeah.
Double up.
You want him to spell out chafe, do you, mate?
I had chafe too, don't you worry.
Oh, I thought, is that smell when I came in the office today? Jesus, put some cream on it. I'm wearing the Nick Lloyd shorts today, nice and short.
Nick Lloyd shorts.
Oh, far out. Well, what a weekend of racing we have ahead of us. We're just getting
That's
over
what Pat was just saying.
the hangover of Everest. And look, it's not the greatest platter served up to us in the lead up to kind of spring car. Well, Melbourne Cup week and Golden Eagle and everything else. Caulfield Cup is a standalone and a great race. We've got a few at Sydney, but yeah, it is what it is. We'll find a few winners.
I'll tell you what, I'd turn down a box ticket on Saturday. Don't worry about that. I'd be sending it back like Andre Agassi.
If you go, I'll go. No, if you go, I still won't go.
I'm just not going. Oh, I thought you'd be keen as to get out there to the bloody
I'd
the
go to
Five
Caulfield.
Diamonds Prelude and
Yeah, I'd go to
catching,
Caulfield too. Absolutely. Caulfield.
So Pat, you
Do you
don't
wanna
want to
go?
do a runner by runner for the big dance wildcard?
Mate, in all honesty, and I won't lie to the punters, I wouldn't know half the horses in the field. So you know I'll be probably tipping one that you know.
Well, I saw you asking messages out wide to people about Baby Rider. I thought you just accidentally wrote. I thought you accidentally wrote that instead of jockey. Like they're men, Pat. They're just small. He doesn't know racing at all.
The Five Diamonds brilliant. I'm sweet in that. The Big Dance Wild Card, I'm
Not sweet.
All right. Well, let's get into this. Let's
probably
get
don't
into
follow
this.
enough midweek racing.
Couple of races at Randwick, and then we'll get into the big one. We're going to do race 8 and race 9 at Randwick, kicking off with race 8, 1,500 metres, the Five Diamonds Prelude. Obviously, all these prices and this show brought to you by the good folk over at Dabble. Democracy Manifest is the current favourite at $4.60. Coda Healy at $6, Waterford at $7, Altivo $9, Converge, Faulkner Park and Detonator Jack all around that $10, $11 mark. Water Goes, my horse, $19. Might pick up a win on the way to the big dance, but it's an interesting old race, and I don't know if it's a two horse. We've had a pretty decent scratching come out of this, right? No? No, not as yet.
Journalism, nothing
Nothing
outstanding.
of major proportion.
Coda Healy was scratched out of the big dance
other race.
wildcard to run in this.
That could be where I'm getting confused, what I looked at this morning. Zamet, why don't you kick us off? I'll let Pat have a bit of a reprieve.
Yeah. I mean, I much prefer this to the next one.
Pat's kicking us off for the next one, obviously.
Yeah,
I'll be stable mailing that race.
absolutely. Look, I found Coatiel. You called it Coda Healy, then Nick. I don't know how it's meant to be.
Oh, that was
pronounced,
me,
but I thought
Coda Healy as well.
I thought it was Coatiel, but look, however you say it, it was outstanding first up. Should have won. Never really saw daylight until probably the 150, I think it was, from memory. Absolutely smashed the line. Looked at the data for sectionals, ran well above standard in terms of the run home. By no means walked early doors in the first half of the race. Sets up really well here, second up 1,500 metres at Randwick. Sherry's got a really good association with this horse of late. O'Shea at Randwick is a really good recipe. I thought Drawn Well was going to get a lovely run in transit, hopefully a little bit more luck this time. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of fans of Democracy Manifest. It's a cult horse because of the name, but also, it's in some absolutely sensational form and arguably should have won the Epsom last start. That Epsom form is nothing outstanding. It's not as good as an ordinary Epsom form should be. And he's drawn barrier 12, going to get back, going to give Coatiel a start. I just think at the prices, I wouldn't have more than a struck match between them. So with a little bit extra juice in the price of Coatiel, a better barrier, better map, I'm certainly happy to go that way.
Yeah, I don't mind it at all. I don't mind it at all. Great shape. Patrick, with or against Coda Healy?
I'm with Converge again. I'm loyal. I took this horse in the Epsom. It had the Redina form. I tossed up between the two of them and ended up on Converge, and obviously Redina come out and won it, which was very frustrating because Converge was just hitting backsides in the straight as well. It's a tough race to do because a lot of people say Democracy Manifest should have won the Epsom, but it had the easiest run. Of course, you're going to run into trouble going for that inside run 9 times out of 10. That's why not everyone goes for it. So I think if Converge sort of had a similar run in the Epsom, could it have won the Epsom? I think so. It was running up the back, copped a check, went too far back. I don't understand what they do with this horse. I feel like it's the most unlucky horse in Sydney. So all it needs is that little ounce of luck. It's obviously weighted in this race up to its ability, but I don't think there's any superstars in this field, and I guess out of those three, Converge, Democracy Manifest, and Coda Hele, they all unlucky last start. So I guess whoever tips any of those three and they win, they'll be thinking they're a genius because they had a tough run last start. But
what barrier is Converge?
I'm going with Converge. Barrier 13. It can't draw a gate, but hopefully they go a bit more positive than what they have been.
I think they have to because they were off. They were nowhere near. Well, they weren't nowhere near it, but you thought they were going to be much more onto the speed in that episode.
Yeah, they. I think I mentioned it the other week. They did it in the Stradbroke. Went back and it was just lights out, game over. So I'm hoping they're a bit more positive with it, and I think it could probably destroy this field.
Hasn't won a race since around with Guineas.
But
it's a low percentage horse. I mean, it's got ability, but yeah. Wow,
isn't this just the right at $10? It's the right race to have a look at it. There's no
He's a looking.
There's no superstars in this race. I give the egg flip.
Mate, you can't say that. Democracy Manifest is the people's horse.
You hate that horse.
It's not a superstar.
You hate it.
I do, because I can never, ever catch it. Just one of those fucking horses. Nicky boy, what do you like, mate?
I'm on the fence with both of those two, to be honest. Coda Hele or Coda Hele.
Yeah, well, whatever.
And Converge, but I'm going to side with Converge just because he's running that Kingsford Smith Cup back in Brisbane, like behind Think About It. He was unlucky not to beat him that day, and then the Stradbroke, just nothing went right. So I think out of those horses that come out of the Epsom where you've got like your Democracy Manifest that were right down low in the weights and whatnot, they come up to the 57.5 now, whereas Converge has sort of always been that middle, what did he carry in the Epsom? 55? Yeah. So, like he's going to meet Democracy Manifest a lot better at the weights into this race, and I just think this is one of the better, easier races he's contested for a little while.
It's not often that you and I align, Nick, so there's got to be some sort of push for that. I thought of anything when he was tossing up between the two of them. When I tipped Converge, he would go to whatever the other one was.
I thought about it.
That's his usual gear.
Yeah.
That's his usual gear. But I would love to have gotten odds that the two races he pulls out about the horses, the two Brisbane races. I only watched those ones, obviously.
That's the form reference.
Yeah.
They've made it easy for you, Sam.
I think they have. Sorry, Zama. We'll get you back, mate. We'll get you in there. We'll lock in. Let me just.
Zamet's he's on the outer.
Jeez, mate. When I said they've made it easy for you, I meant you'd lock in mine.
No way. I'm liking it. I actually quite like Converge. I liked it this morning when I first had a look at these races, and
is BJ keen on Democracy? He was keen on him in the Epsom, wasn't he? From memory.
Was it the Epsom or the race before that?
I thought he was.
He backed it in the Epsom.
He was ropeable about the Epsom.
Yeah, he was. I think he had an $81 ticket on it in the Epsom.
Oh, that's why. That's right. Yep.
And he did tip it to members on the day too, and it was not much luck. But I don't think he sent out any early plays yet for Saturday.
No, not for Saturday.
Different race, different setup.
That's right. Yeah.
Interested to see.
No favourites in BJ's black book, is there? Sack him.
Yeah, no, they don't.
Start again, clean slate.
Ruthless.
All right, let's go. Let's throw. We only got 3 races, so we can be a bit fast and loose with this, and kind of let the odds kind of creep up there. I'm going to put Converge in as a place bet for our locked in multi on Dabble. Follow us at the leg up on Dabble to check out this multi. So, Pat, I know you were rubbing your hands with this one. The Big Dance Wild Card. This is to get a slot in the Big Dance, I'm assuming.
First two past the post.
First 2 past the post. Have to run second and third behind what goes in the Big Dance. Good luck to you. 1,600 metres, race 9. Our favourite is Spangler at $6. Flying Crazy at 7s, Journalism $7.50, King of the Castle, and For Valor at the $8.59 mark. Wow, we could just go on and mention all these horses that a lot of us haven't heard of. Pat, I know you would have run your eye over this race. I know you would have gone deep into the replays. Tell us, where have you landed in the Big Dance Wildcard?
Do you know what?
The BDWC.
I've got to say, I before the show, I definitely did not say to you, do not throw to me first. I definitely didn't say that to
My
you,
headphones must have been off.
I am glad that for once you listened to me and made sure that I'm leading us out on the track
I want people
here.
to see that you can just ad lib and.
When I heard you were announcing me first, I think I've gone the colour of Sub-Zero leading me out on the track. Pretty ghostly here. And
The words you did say in the green room is, whatever anyone else tips, I'm just going to strongly agree with them.
When did we get a green room?
I did go.
Oh, it's on called before you press record.
Zammy, the green room's right next to the mail room where he goes through all that mail that he gets every week. We've had a lot of
the
people
feedback
write-
that Zaman asked. There's feedback that Zaman asked for.
Had a lot of feedback this week.
Hey, listen, we're on social media. If I told you the feedback we get, you'd be disgusted. You'd never come back on.
Where is that C?
Yeah. Actually, we spoke about this. Someone on YouTube, on the Sporting News, who this podcast in conjunction with, wrote, the big guy on the right, he's always got a good opinion. Talking about me. I've had one positive comment in 3 years. Two on the leg up. Framed that. Put that up. Thank you, Mum.
Testimonial.
All right. Well, Pat, do you want to lead us into this one, or do you want to hand this one off?
I've been announced as the leader, so I'll
Let's
go.
Go.
I went looking for a tip earlier in the week. I wanted to tip the thing of Bjorn Bakers that had been gelded, and he said
The baby
no.
rider, yeah.
He said no. So obviously they haven't sought this race out and thought, wow, let's really just pick our mark for this horse has been gelded and launched. So I had to put that one aside, and I've been informed that Highlights is going very well in track work and is going to be there on Saturday ready to break its way into the big dance. So who am I to go against?
Who are you to go against Stable Mail?
what
Every
a-
bit of Stable Mail you've told us
What
has
a-
been absolute trash.
Just dog shit.
It has been
What, Aaron
trash.
Lau's phone not answering?
Exactly. We followed that grub all over the country, and it's run nowhere every time.
Guys, there's no Neesham runners in this race. I could not get any Neesham stables.
Been getting terrible mail from Nisha.
I went, but I did go looking for the tip, and I found one. So do with it what you like. Highlights, guys.
What a tip. This is
I obviously don't know a lot about a lot of the runners in this field, and I didn't want to. So
I'll learn about them when they make the big dance.
I'm telling you, first and second of this race get into the field, and I reckon they'll run first and second last. So good luck to them. Good luck to all of them. Hopefully Highlights runs well for the punters, and if you do want to
Well,
side
I've got to be honest with you. There's a big chance it's not getting thrown in the locked-in multi. But we appreciate your honesty here.
Good
We
effort.
appreciate that. Zamet, surely
Thanks for
you've
trying.
got something for us.
Well, you need me here, otherwise
good.
we're left to Nick Lloyd. So let's
trouble,
Let's
yeah.
go to the top. Let's go to the top and find the class. Look, I thought this race was between the two that come through some very similar form lines in Flying Crazy and Lions Roar. I wanted to find Lions Roar when I started. 1,500 back to 1,400 last start did not suit at all, and second up off a real red-hot first-up run for a horse that probably wants further. Expected to be a little flat, so it was very forgiving of the run and added a few extra points and lengths to what it produced. But when it drew the barrier, it did. And looking at the speed map, we'll get back. I don't know there's going to be a whole load of pressure up front. Flying Crazy draws low again and is absolutely flying. I think I had to land in that corner in the end. So Flying Crazy for me, it's ready to win, deserves a win, in fantastic form. I think it's the right form that those two come through. They concede a lot of weight to the rest of this field, but I think they've got oodles of class on most of these. So Flying Crazy for me is...
The barrier matters on a horse that misses the start?
in terms of Lions Roar, you mean?
No, in terms of Flying Crazy.
Oh, in terms of Flying Crazy, no, it does. In respect, it doesn't have to do too much to be able to then dig back up, muster some speed, and hold its spot. Similar to what happened last start, it just gets a little bit of leeway for having been a little slow away. I'd much rather it where it is than being drawn out wide, and then it's got no options but to go well back. Otherwise, it'll be very wide without cover.
All right, Flying Crazy, $7. The win, $2.50 the place. Nick Lloyd. We've got someone that's pulled one out of his bum, one that misses the start. So please.
I think this is the best bet of the day anywhere.
Oh, no.
Let me get my quill. I'm just going to cross this one straight out.
Shivers. Okay.
He's landing on Flying Crazy, sure.
I've got a red pen here.
Oh, far out. Here we go. Okay.
Spangler's absolutely flying.
Okay, I'm with you. Keep going. Give me what I need to hear.
First up, did what it had to do at 1400 around Rose Hill, and then it went to the Cameron behind Democracy Manifest and Palmetto and had absolutely no luck at all. Got out very late, hit the line beautifully to run third. You've got, I know we sort of put the little bit of the pen through Democracy Manifest, but he did frank that form and run very well in the Epsom, so the form sort of stood up. Then he's been back to the trials. I love that tick over trial in between runs, and he absolutely bolted and he won the trial by 6 lengths under a hole. Dylan Gibbons was on there. Gets Tommy Berry, barrier 11. He's just going to lob into a nice spot midfield with a bit of cover, come down the middle of the track and go straight past them. I just think this horse is absolutely airborne at the moment.
I hate the mid prep trial.
Do you? I love it.
Not a fan of it.
Oh, I back horses confidently when they have a little tick over trial, especially when they go that good.
I got it right up there with the quick backup. Obviously, highlights is on the quick backup.
Two of my favourites.
I like the quick backup.
Quick backup and tick over
Zama, what's
trial.
your thoughts on a quick backup?
Everything needs context. I'm not one for just blanket rules. So it depends what the context is. Quick backup.
I'm going to give you none.
On a grand final day.
Well, what about when you went to Magic Millions and you were on the quick backup the next day?
Well, there you go.
You would not be good on the quick backup.
There's an example of where it didn't work.
Left wanting more. Yeah, that's very flat.
I took on trust.
Oh, Pat, obviously you've got your head around this race now. You've heard the voice. Zamet's, he's excited for Flying Crazy. Currently $7 and $2.50 the place.
Should say my cousin's got a share in Spangler and.
You're still gone against it.
Yeah. No, I love the horse, and don't disagree with anything Nick said. I just the part I do disagree with is where I think it gets to in the run. I'm not as confident as Nick that it just lobs into a nice spot with cover, not covering too much ground. That's the concern I've got with the tempo of this race.
Well, you've heard Zamet's reasons for Flying Crazy and against Spangler. You've heard Nick say Spangler's it's possibly his best of the day. Why don't you lock one in for us, Pat? Why don't you lock one in?
I'll tell you.
We're not locking in. We're not locking in highlights. It's out of these two.
I'll tell you what I couldn't be locking in after him declaring it is Spangler. It's definitely had a pen put through it. It's almost a scratchy for me.
How do you find a best in that race, Nick?
Flying Crazy for me, guys. I don't even listen to his answer.
I don't know how Pat has that control, but he can only mute Nick's microphone. There's only one.
I just thought it was great value because I think there's a lot of horses that just aren't going well, and he comes.
It was a lot shorter in the all-in market, wasn't it? Was that $4, $4.50?
And how do you align it off a 6.5 length trial win? Like it just is it's a bit of a wank for me. That's 2 months ago as the last start.
I did get $8 all in with one bookmaker. So.
Oh well, now we're hearing about the futures bet that was placed on it.
Nothing like a ticket in your pocket to convince you there's a best bet.
It helps.
Certainly added a leg.
That helps.
Best bet or only bet?
Best bet or only bet in the race, yeah. You're too invested in the race, Nick. I'm sure you just looked at it with some blinkers on, and I'll be siding with Zamet here.
Flying Crazy.
Lock it in. Let me just have a look what that brings up to, but we'll have to more than likely put Flying Crazy in as a place. Okay. On to the Caulfield Cup, the big occasion for Saturday, 2,400 metres. It is race 9 in your books if you're playing at home. Favourites and prices as of Thursday. Gold Trip $5, West Wind Blows $7, Solcombe $7, Without a Fight $7.50, Break up at $9, and then a little jump out where we've got Montefilia and Valiant King on the same line of betting at $13. Who You Mount 15s, Francesco Guardi at $17, and the rest of the field after that. I just wanted to get old Francesco Guardi in there. Nick, what have you got for us, mate? What have you got for the Caulfield Cup this year's running, this year's edition? And then give us a tip, or maybe before you tip, give us all your futures tickets.
I haven't got any futures tickets. The only little futures bet I had something on a promo for Gold Trip to win all three: the Caulfield Cup, Cox Plate, Melbourne Cup, because I'm on him in the Cox Plate and I'm on him in the Melbourne Cup, and I thought, if I'm on him in those two and he starts favourite in the Caulfield Cup, I may as well have a little throw at all three. So
He'll cop a penalty though, won't he, if it wins a Caulfield Cup?
I don't know if he will, because he's already got 58.5. So he would have to be ultra impressive, I think, to cop a penalty in a Caulfield Cup. Maybe
they look after the top weights.
Yeah, maybe half a kilo, but like if he can win a Caulfield Cup and he's already carrying 58.5 and they give him half a kilo, I don't think that'll worry him on the first Tuesday in November. They just might not see what way he goes. So
they need to put one of those baby riders on him.
That's right.
Little baby rider. Little baby rider on it.
So, yeah, I do think Gold Trip's the horse to beat, but I'm going to give the punters a little bit of my value in the race, and that's Duke de Sessa, the stablemate to Gold Trip. He came over here with a bit of a boom. He was well backed in a Doncaster over 1,600 in his first Australian start back in, when was that, April. He ran pretty well there, and then his 2 runs this prep, 1,400 first up in a Memsey. I think we can just sort of forgive that. That was just a run, and then I thought his run in the Turnbull was outstanding.
It was good in Turnbull.
You know, it was the first time he'd been at 2,000 in Australia. Got out in the middle of the track, hit the line pretty nicely, and meets a lot of those runners better at the weights now. Through that run, and now this is the first time we see him at 1.5 miles, which is where all his form in Europe was. Kieran Maher and David Eustace are the masters at getting these horses staying, especially when they're those imports. And barrier 14 a little bit sticky. He might have to take his medicine, but Johnny Allen on board, nice low weight. I think he's the blowout in the race.
Duke de Sessa.
Yep.
Zamet, who you liking in the Caulfield Cup?
Surely they're not even that good of trainers.
This horse has got pretty top form. I think he's better chance than a $34 shot or whatever he is.
I think he's longer than that.
He might be. I think
he should be. He should be.
In fairness, should be.
Zamet, what do you like, mate?
I'm not going as wide as Nicholas, but I have found it a very competitive Caulfield Cup. I think it's an outstanding race this year, isn't it? Very good race. Very interesting betting race. Gold Trip. A few people still try and tell me the horse isn't 100% to start. Correct me if I'm wrong. You cannot scratch in a Group 1, can you? Just because you've decided not to run. You need a reason, don't you? You need a vet certificate. You need a serious track downgrade or upgrade, don't you? You can't just scratch. Group 1.
That's right. People are saying that if it's a good 4, they won't run. Well, what was the Turnbull? And I don't think that was a good 4. I don't think they would either. No. But also Kieran Maher on Wednesday last night after the barrier draw, he made it sound like it was all systems go. Like you wouldn't pay up to run. They've said that his feet are. The feet issues that he had 12 months ago, they're pretty confident that they're behind him. So that was probably the only thing that was stopping them from running on a good track this time last year. So,
I'm working off him being there. I'm working off them trying. There's no way they're running in this race just for a run because they don't need it, right? So they are genuinely dead set after the big 3 with this horse, and I don't blame them one bit. He's probably one of the few horses in the country who legitimately has a chance of knowing all 3. And can do it. He's drawn well enough. He's going to be a great chance. But I mean, somebody tell me I'm wrong, but how was West Wind Blows not as good, every bit as good, if not better, a run in the Turnbull? Jamie Spencer is the biggest cross against this horse, and that barrier has meant that there's only so much damage he can do. Now, I mean that, full respect to Spencer, who's a great jockey overseas, but,
sound
ordinary
like it.
ride.
It really didn't
I don't
sound
think
like
you
it. It really didn't sound like it originally.
I just thought I went a bit too far that way. But,
Reel back a little bit.
Just a little bit. But,
Today's show headline can be Zamet hates Spencer.
But hey, he can only do so much damage from barrier 2 now. That horse will just get a completely different run to what it had in the Turnbull, where it was just burning energy throughout the whole race, just non-stop, travelling out wide on a hot speed. Gold Trip was just out the back enjoying all of that damage being done and just has zoomed home, as he does. And West Wind Blows had the audacity to keep kicking and held on very strong. I think everything else around him completely dropped out.
That was its first run in Australia, wasn't it?
It was,
yeah.
And remember, it wasn't so long ago we all swore black and blue that Internationals dynamite their second run here. Remember that? Until they started to finally break that hoodoo and could win a big race their first go here. I just think he improves length. Some little query 2400, but I don't think enough to sway me away. Without a Fight, I mentioned on here before, he's one of my horses, and I've been waiting for this race ever since the winter for him.
Yeah.
I thought he was a fraction disappointing first up. I do not in any way, shape or form underestimate him, and I think he absolutely can win this race. But if I'm trying to split them, I think West Wind Blows, you just had to be taken by that run in the Turnbull. The Internationals are so hard to beat here. I think it was the same old ownership as without a Fight as well, from memory. Same sire. They're two similar horses, but for me, West Wind Blows on top.
So, hey boys, you both tipped overseas horse in this race. Obviously not the one that's going to win, but what do you think about Breakup then, coming from Japan?
You look at his SP profile, he's gone around like 100 to 1 in two or three of his last 5 starts, and I know that's against like Equinox, who's the world's highest rated horse, but I think my knock on him is that he's $10 over a mile and a half. I think he's sort of the horse that you have in the bet slip, watch him rattle home and run 4th or 5th and back him in the Melbourne Cup.
Yeah, I think he's a Melbourne Cup horse more so than Caulfield Cup.
Yeah.
They can start big prices over there, Nick, in those big races.
Yeah.
And it's not as much of a guide as it would be here, I think. It's a fair call out, but I reckon they can get away with it a bit more. What I did notice was after running last there to Equinox, the horse that ran second to Equinox in that race, he's then come out and run third with it in second place at its next start. So, I think perhaps, it showed that maybe that run there was a bit of an aberration, and it's genuinely comparable to that next tier of horse up there. But I think more so the Melbourne Cup than for the Caulfield Cup with that horse.
Yeah.
Did you think, though, more so its best form might be behind it?
Yeah. It was an interesting horse, hey? Like, I love the Japanese when they come out here and they've been so successful, and Damien Lane drawn nicely in 5, got a nice weight, so like there's a lot of reasons to like it. But
yeah, it's only had 4 starts since its last win, Paddy. They don't race that often up there. Yeah. I don't know if it's past it. It's definitely not come across here with the same gloss that some of the Japanese do. Yeah, what does it do? It's going to lead here, do you think, or go forward? What's it going to do?
Go forward. I think it'll be handy. Yeah.
You just watch the market on these horses too. You just got to see if there's late money for it, or
we don't have the world pool in play, do we?
We do. I think.
We would, I think.
Maybe.
Yep.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to watch actually.
Chaps will come for it.
Japanese, you mean?
Yeah, we say the full words on podcast.
So it's okay to say the malts, but you can't say that. Is that right?
Yeah, chocolate, vanilla malt, chocolate malt. I love all of them. So what are you tipping in this one, Pat?
I've got to be tipping Gold Trip. It's going better this year going into it than it was last year. And obviously just got nosed on the post by Durston last year. It only has to carry a kilo more. Horses flying. I think looking at the Caulfield Cup doubles, probably a bridge too far. I don't know that Moonee Valley suits this horse at all, but obviously we're tipping on the Caulfield Cup here, and I can't see why it wouldn't. The exact same thing wouldn't happen as it did last start in the Turnbull, and where it just blouses this field at the end of the race and just goes straight past them at the end. There's no reason why it won't. It's racing mostly against the same horses. There's a few anomalies thrown in there, like the Japanese horse. Nick's horse. I don't know. I think it looks like a no-brainer, and it's paying $6.
tend to have thought the same. I kind of thought, is there something I'm missing here? Like, even $6, I'm like, look, unless the bookies are a bit worried that one of these things could jump out of the ground, like this Japanese horse or something like that, and even that $9.50 about that. But I kind of, it seems a little bit too black and white for me with Gold Trip.
If Gold Trip gets beat, I'd be looking at something more shocking, like a Spirit Ridge leading all the way, and you just scratch your head and go, far out, what, the Metrop form is going to play a part this year. Like, just something weird like that, as opposed to one of these overseas raiders that's been running behind, or ran behind Gold Trip last start.
So guys, just humour me for a minute. 3 kilo weight pull and a hell of a different run in transit for West Wind Blows against Gold Trip for a 1.8 length defeat. You don't think that brings them somewhere close together?
Well, why is West Wind Blows going to get any easier run? Because
of where it's drawn. Yeah, it's gonna do nothing in the run. 3 kilo weight pull. It's had the run under its belt.
Unless it's last the fence and Jamie Spencer finds a way to slaughter it. But
absolutely.
Look, I did say after the Turnbull that I thought West Wind Blows was a horse to follow into the Melbourne Cup, not expecting Gold Trip to be there. So, like, I completely agree with you, Matt, that this horse is a genuine winning chance. Like, I'd have him in the top 4, no worries.
Yeah, I just think how do you get away from him if you and I don't blame you being keen on Gold Trip again. I know he's not going to surprise me if he wins. I can fully understand it, but that there isn't a lot that he has to make up in 1.8 lengths, and he's got a few things on his side already before he starts with the 3 kilos in the barrier.
From me, which is a level down in regards to it's just not enough shown here. Like you couldn't sit there and have them so quick and say, from that one run. Yep, it looks like it's getting further. It's going to be fitter. There is the swing. I see all that stuff, but it's not enough for me to pencil Gold Trip.
Gold Trip did come from a long way off him and gave him windburn as well. Like,
absolutely, and that was the only run to go off that. And like what Zamet's saying is there's positives there.
Yeah, for sure.
There's positives there, and the Gold Trip could just be on his way to the Melbourne Cup. But
Zara off Melamon, no difference.
Nah.
What's the story there? What's
Zara didn't want to wait while they decided what they were going to do, which I don't blame him. It took them till the 11th hour to make up their mind when he had a great ride in without a fight, just waiting and basically cards about to be pulled out if he waited and held them off any longer. So he went with a bird in the hand versus 2 in the bush.
Just a little bit of breaking news on the Caulfield Cup too. The Racing Victoria have just come out with media release after the first round of vet inspections this morning.
What have they found?
Non-conformist, lame in the right hind, without a fight. Also presented with lameness in the left front. So
Zara is filthy.
Zara could be
stay on.
Can I say
Take your time, guys?
Can I say something? There have been rumours in the last 24 to 48 hours. All is not well without a fight. That is really interesting. Really interesting. I think the rumour was something viral, or it wasn't 100%. But that's too much of a coincidence there. I wonder if all is not well, and that's a little bit more than just a bit of lameness.
Yeah, I wonder. Breakup, West Wind Blows, Akita Sushi, and Valiant King all inspected for the first time tomorrow. So, I suppose those couple of imports that were just mentioned.
Imagine why don't they just do them all at the same time and get it done? Why do they drag it out over a few days?
That's it. Do it on the Friday, and then it's
drama.
like if
don't want to charge overtime.
I love it.
Yeah, so that's interesting.
Poor Mark's sitting there with his bird in his hand.
Pat with 2 in the bush.
Could have had 2 in the book.
Imagine if he's sitting there on the sidelines for the Caulfield Cup, and he obviously just retains that ride. Okay, is there in any world, and this is coming from I
was thinking that.
Ask that into the mic.
Could they say, all right, Ben, Mark's no longer got a ride in the race. You're off. Mark's back on Gold Trip.
Would they drop him at this stage?
I don't think they can.
Just like the jockey can't get off unless he gets approval from the owners once he locks in. For big races like this,
there's no way that could happen right now.
Oh, okay. What about a flip then? What if Mellon comes out and gives him a 15 out of 10 ride?
Going 40 to a Cox.
It depends what the commitment is. So if they've said you're on Gold Trip for all the big races, then they can't.
Yet but Zara's just said, well, you guys are taking too long with Caulfield Cup. I'm jumping off. Like, surely that puts.
So clearly there was no booking. That's what it tells you. There's been
Why
no
would
booking.
they say?
In the Caulfield Cup, anyway, I would say Mark's probably locked into Cox Plate Melbourne Cup. Surely
They would have just said, oh, and just keep yourself free.
Yeah.
You know, 2 weeks prior.
It'd be interesting to know what the how that all works. But
I'd love to see something big come out of that. Look, I'm locking in Gold Trip the win. We might try and sneak one past them.
Jeez, I have been. You've just given me the brush. In every
Oh
race,
yeah,
Sam.
that's true.
Look what happens.
Look
what happens when you forget.
I thought this
keep
was
us
like Kids
waiting.
Games. I thought this was like
Sorry, I just forgot to lock any of yours in.
Oh my God, you wouldn't know it from this end, but recording, we actually haven't recorded anything from your end, Cameron. Your mic's been turned off the entire time, so people wouldn't know. All right, so let's have a look at this locked-in multi. We're going to go Converge the Place. Flying Crazy. Flying
big
Crazy
race
the
that.
Place.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Pat
we
did it. I couldn't bring myself to it.
That's right.
And then
Big
Gold
race
Trip
that.
the win. I'm looking forward to the Caulfield Cup, and that's probably about it. But let's hope that we've got the rest of the legs up. I think Caulfield Cup's after these two.
No, probably not.
But let's hope
maybe.
we're
It should be
close.
later today,
Yeah,
yeah.
it should be later.
Should be.
But yes, any plans for Caulfield Cup before I let you gentlemen go? Nothing?
We had a Halloween party, I think.
Oh yeah,
Guess what I'll be dressed as?
a drunk punter.
Yes.
Yeah, something along those lines, I'd say.
The tab ticket, the tie around your head with tab ticket stuffed into it. Beautiful.
I'm a futures bet.
Right on the pile. You're just scrunched up in Nick's pocket. Hey, has anyone got any other tip for us around the grounds this week? Have you got one for us,
Oh yeah.
Sam?
Yep. I don't normally do this, but
What?
A tip? No. The two from the two 2,000 meter races for the 3-year-olds. I just think the shortest way home in a double. Riff Rocket, ridiculous odds, but can't see it getting beaten into Tropical Squall. Not unreasonable odds, I thought. Just bring those two together and have some fun for the rest of the day.
So that's Caulfield Race 2 and Caulfield Race 3.
Spot on.
Yep.
Paddy, you got one?
I got nothing for you, mate.
Nicky boy?
Yeah, Caulfield, it is the Gothic Stakes. I think it's race 4 on the program.
That is the Gothic, correct?
Yep. Don Corleone.
Don Corleone.
Yeah, I think the two horses at the top of the market, Facile and Dark Halo, I just don't think it's got the same level of form that the Don comes through. He comes through the Golden Rose and what was that, the Vane the other day behind Shred and Angel and I Am Unstoppable, back to 1,200 around a bend. Whoosh.
Whoosh.
Whoosh, whoosh.
I've got one for all the punters listening.
Let's hear
Oh,
it.
here we go.
Watch the Beckham documentary. Have you boys seen it?
Yeah.
I haven't
Bloody
yet.
good, isn't it?
Great series.
Fantastic.
Yeah. The fact that Kate, my better half, the fact that she sat down and said, "Can we put the next episode on?"
As did mine.
Sports doco.
Yeah,
that's,
at least it's the same.
Yeah, that's.
I think a
sort
bit of
says
Spice
something.
Girls in there has brought in the women as well. So
Definitely, yep.
Yeah,
I
but
wonder, I forgot how famous David Beckham was. Like how
I loved
fucking
him.
huge he was. Yeah, so did I. So did I. Like that was all what soccer was to me back then. I just knew David Beckham.
Yeah.
Was there a stat like Qatar paid him $100 million just to go over there and just be there for the World Cup?
Don't know how much it
Didn't
was, but
Yeah.
he
Didn't have
did
to do
more than be
anything.
there. No, he was the ambassador. He travelled Europe as the ambassador for it, and it's a long. I think it's I'm sure it's a 10-year agreement. Not so much 10 million.
Okay.
I think it's a 10-year agreement, but it'd be for many millions anyway. To be an ambassador, an ongoing ambassador for soccer over there.
Do you know through his endorsements, like he's 250 million I think was his LA Galaxy contract.
He owns into Miami now.
Well that is even one of the great. I think I actually mentioned on this one on the podcast that a part of that deal was he would be able to buy into an MLS franchise for like 25 million or something ridiculous, and now like the going rate to start one is like 400 million. So
he's very well advised. Whoever
he's
advised
under.
him.
Oh yeah, I'd love to. I always thought that. I thought that during the entire show, like I'd love to just. They kept talking about his friend, business partner. I'm like, I wonder if he has any, like, was a part of these processes on these agency, like these deals, because, like, even that Real Madrid. Did you notice the part when he was at Real Madrid? He was going around, like they went through Asia.
Yeah.
They didn't play a game.
Right.
I didn't see them. There was no friendly. There was no footage from that. Like, who knows if that was just not a press tour and those guys just because he was saying like it tripled their revenue.
Yeah.
Real Madrid, like.
Yeah, genuine global megastar, that guy.
So I think
and all over Asia as well. Yeah, as you said, just a global megastar.
I think it's just shy of $1 billion from his playing days.
Wow.
850 or 900 million from player contracts and endorsements. Because remember, he was Calvin Klein. He was everything.
Yeah.
My nanny
Such a shame
without
that
a
he's got an
doubt.
awful voice, doesn't it? Like,
It still says, no, I'd go out there and play on Friday or Thursday. Or,
Geez, he's got some style though, doesn't he? He dresses well. How good does he
yeah.
always look? He's always dressed impeccably. But he's...
How many young kids do you reckon, or like not even young kids, but like teenagers, 20-year-olds, like over the past 20 years or what's it been, 25 years have walked into a barber and said, I want this, and shown them a photo
I thought
of
that.
whatever David Beckham's
There's a couple of
hairdo is
like,
at the time.
button-up shirt jean combos, and I'm like, I remember getting like the True Religion jeans and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, the Predators. Remember the Predators? They showed them.
I had the Predators. They didn't show the Predators I had, which were the silver Predators with the red tongue. They were the best.
Yeah.
But the shoes were gum, but he was he's a freak. He was a freak. But
It's
definitely, if
just
you
those
guys
free
haven't
kicks.
watched it, oh yeah.
Every kid, well, I did. You'd get out there, and all you want to do is hit a free kick like he did. That's where that movie came from. Bend it like Beckham.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you haven't watced it, that's my
That's your tip of the,
that's
tip
my
of the
Bend it
week.
like Beckham.
Bend it like, yeah. There was a horse called that, wasn't there?
What a movie.
Get out and watch Bend It Like Beckham. Keira Knightley, I think it was.
I think so.
One of the greats.
Yeah, fantastic.
What a flick.
That's my tip. All right, boys, thank you very much for joining us. Appreciate your input again. Nick, thank you. Glad you survived the weekend. And punters, appreciate the very upward spike in streams over Everest weekend. Big numbers. So let's see if we can keep going for Caulfield Cup. And gamble responsibly this week. And if you are going to have a bit of a punt, make sure you do it with our
And if
good
you've got a
friends over
spare
at
ticket,
Double.
Pat's looking to go.
Not just a ticket, obviously, one that comes on a lanyard or his wrist.
Yeah, obviously.
Not just GA.
He won't be roving. He shan't be roving. Really.
No. He's dressed for not for speed or mobility. He's dressed for sitting. We'll talk to our good friends at Double and see if they can hook something up. But appreciate it, guys, and good luck this weekend.